And the person waiting on the suit.
They said Christina Bryan, but they go by however the name is.
Why are they in the room?
Try not to get any.
You don't want to get traumatized? Scared? Let's see. Oh, man. Mhm. Okay. A person identified as Daxton Branson. What's your name?
Christina Bryan, but I go by Daxton, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you.
You're very welcome.
Did Daxton already, or Christina Bryan already meet with the public defender?
Yeah.
Unless they talked before.
Mr. Lee, did you meet with Christina Bryan?
Shirley,
Sorry.
Did you meet with Christina Bryan?
Yes, we did meet. She talked to Sarah Donnelly. We're ready to proceed.
Okay. On the record in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Christina Bryan and file number 22-00224FY. Appearance, please.
Assistant Public Defender John Lee, appearing on behalf of Christina Bryan.
Okay, today is the date and time set for a probation violation hearing. We do have Christina Bryan, president, identified as Daxton Branson. Let's see, this was supposed to proceed to hearing on a failure to make payments on fines and costs and then failed to provide verification of new counselor. How are we proceeding, counsel?
Your Honor, Ms. Bryan would like to plead guilty with an explanation.
Is that accurate, Ms. Bryan?
Yes.
Please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give is the truth and the whole truth under penalty of perjury?
Yes, Your Honor.
You can put your hand down. You've been charged here with 2 violations of your probation conditions, and you have the right to have a contested hearing today. You have the right to have the prosecution and the probation department put forth evidence that show by a preponderance of the evidence whether or not you violated your bond condition. Your probation conditions. You understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
You wish to waive that hearing today?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, you understand that, but if you're found to be in violation of your probation status can be revoked or it can be extended, or you could be sentenced potentially to a term of jail time. You understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Anybody promising you anything to get you to waive your right to a hearing and plead guilty to the violation?
I did not, Your Honor.
Okay, and there's no threats being made to you in exchange for a guilty plea?
No, Your Honor.
As to the violation that you failed to make payments on your fines and costs, it says no payments have been made as of June 9, 2023. How do you plead?
Guilty, but not. I did at the last make a payment.
Your device is breaking up, so I don't have a clue what you said.
Sorry about that, Your Honor. What I was saying is I did make a payment. And the only reason why I was not able to make a payment before because I was having trouble with my Social Security.
Okay, so I asked you as to the violation that you failed to make payments as of June 9th, how were you pleading?
Oh, yes. Oh, guilty, Your Honor.
Okay, and so you were ordered to make payments of fines and costs as part of your sentencing, is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, and it looks like you had not made any payments prior to June 9th. Is that accurate?
I have made payments after June 9th, but not on June 9th. Yes, Your Honor.
But I asked you a very specific question. So you had not made payments prior to June 9th, correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, and then on June 27th, you made a payment of $20. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, and then as to the violation that you failed to provide verification of a new counselor, how do you plead?
Guilty, Your Honor.
Okay, and were you ordered as part of your probation status to be screened for mental health counseling?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, and you were ordered to participate in counseling?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, and have you been providing verification of counseling to probation?
No, Your Honor, but I will have verification this week on getting a new counselor, Your Honor.
And who is the new counselor? Where are
My
you
new
gonna
counselor
continue?
is going to be Andrea Fowler. I think that's her name.
Okay, so you haven't started with the new counselor, you're going to be starting?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, any questions? Mr. Lee?
Nothing further.
Okay, court is satisfied with the factual basis. I'll accept your plea. Find your plea to be made freely, voluntarily, and intelligently. The recommendation was to discharge successfully if she provides counseling verification. It says defendant needs to provide verification of a new mental health counselor to be discharged. Do you want to address sentencing?
We ask that Your Honor follow the recommendation of the probation department. Ms. Bryan has been in contact with MMRS and has a counselor identified whom she is to begin counseling with this week, so she should be provided that verification.
What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna set the sentencing on a probation violation for a separate date, and that way she can bring verification. I don't have it right now. I don't feel inclined to continue her probation status for this purpose, but we do want to see to it that she is enrolled and participating in mental health counseling. So let me set it out so that she should have a new counselor this week, which means she should be able to provide verification next week.
July 24th at 1:30.
July 24th at 1:30.
Okay, thank you very much, Your Honor.
No problem. If you can provide that verification to probation prior to that, then they can submit a request to have you discharged. Otherwise, we'll address it at your hearing next week, okay?
Okay, Your Honor, thank you.
No problem. Any additional matters for the record, counsel?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
You're all set, ma'am.
All right, thank you. Have a good day.
You're welcome.
All right, anything else on Mr. Laredo, full third for paperwork?
On the record in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Marissa Carberry, file number 20-01754.
Thank you, Honor. Dale Colter on behalf of the people.
Assistant Public Defender John Lee on behalf of Marissa Carberry.
Okay, today was the date and time set for reset for pretrial. And it looks like she was previously denied court-appointed counsel, but she's now been.
Yeah, we have been assigned.
Okay, very good. How are we proceeding?
At this time, Your Honor, the people are conveying an offer, plead guilty to the charge, Kilbrew to.
Mr. Lee?
Your Honor, at this point, we would like to schedule the matter for final pretrial, and we will consider the prosecutor's offer.
I'm sorry for trial. December 25th at 8 a.m.
Figure out where you're at.
Did you hear your trial date, ma'am?
Yes.
Okay, so you have to appear in person on that date. Any questions for the court at this time, Ms. Carberry?
No.
Okay, any additional matters for the record, counsel?
Not from the people you are.
Looking for the defense, Your Honor.
Okay, you're all set for today, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. On the record, in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Christopher Fleming, file numbers 23-017, 28, and 29. Appearance, please.
Your Honor, Dale Coltrader on behalf of the people.
Assistant Public Defender John Lee on behalf of Christopher Flynn.
Today's the date set for pre-trials on two dog vaccination license charges. How are you proceeding?
Your Honor, I have not had a chance to speak to defense counsel yet. I think this is probably something.
Just license.
I see dog no license on both.
I believe that we have been forwarded proof of licensing. So just this afternoon, I know, even just before we came over to the courthouse, Sarah Donovan was talking to him and he emailed us. A couple of licenses.
Basically, remedial met to dismiss the ticket.
Okay, these cases are dismissed, Mr. Fleming, you're all set.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome. On the record, in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Brian Gibbs, file numbers 23-01102, 1103, 1104, 1105, 1106.
Thank you, Your Honor, Dale Coltrader on behalf of the people.
Assistant Public Defender John Lee on behalf of Brian Gibbs.
Okay, today's the date set for a pre-trial. We have a dog at large, a vicious, a dog bite, a dog license, and another dog license. How are we proceeding?
At this time, I have not had a chance. But, so,
You haven't had a chance to confer with defense counsel?
that's correct.
Okay. We can call that one later, anytime. That's Reginald Henderson in custody.
I think we can go forward on that.
Okay.
Let me just set that for final pre-trial.
September 11th at 8 a.m.
Final pretrial will be September 11th at 8 a.m. in person at the court.
And jury trial September 25th at 8 a.m.
Jury trial September 25th in person at the court at 8 o'clock in the morning. Mr. Gibbs, do you have any questions at this time?
I do not.
Any additional matters for the
Nothing
record?
further
counsel?
from the people, Your Honor.
Nothing further from the defense, Your Honor.
You're all set, sir. Record in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Noel Jackson, file number 23-00167. I'm sorry, 617. Mr. Jackson here? Have you had communication with him?
I do not see as where we had any specific conversation.
Well, it should be more. Bond forfeiture. Of the state of Michigan versus Evan Mitchell, file number 22-02861. Yes, please.
Assistant Public Defender John Lee on behalf of Evan Mitchell. Present. Thank you, my lord.
Today was the date set for a probation violation hearing. Are we proceeding?
Your Honor, we will plead guilty to the violations with an explanation.
Okay. Mr. Mitchell, the violations was that you failed to do random testing at cognitive consultants back on May 27, 2023 and June 5th, 2023. And also that you failed to attend outpatient counseling on May 15th, May 30th, and June 2nd, 2023. You understand those violations?
Yes, I do.
You want to enter a guilty plea to all of those violations today?
Yes,
Okay, raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give is the truth and the whole truth under penalty of perjury?
yes, Your Honor.
Okay, and you understand you have the right to proceed to a hearing in this matter?
Yes.
You understand that you have the right to have the prosecution of probation put forth evidence to support the violations alleged against you?
Yes.
Okay, you want to waive that hearing today?
Yes. I do,
Anybody?
Your Honor.
Has anybody threatened you to get you to waive your hearing?
No, Your Honor.
Any promises being made in exchange for you entering a guilty plea to the violations?
No.
And you understand that as a result of a conviction of those violations, you could end up with continued or extended probation time?
Yes.
You also could have a jail sentence imposed. You understand that?
Yes, I do.
Okay, and you still wish to waive your rights, understanding the possibility there?
Yes, I do.
As to the violation that you failed to test or perform random testing and cognitive consultings on May 27th and June 5th, 2023, how do you plead? And as to the violations that you failed to attend outpatient counseling on May 15th, May 30th, and June 2nd, 2023, how do you plead?
Guilty.
On a factual basis, please.
Thank you. Mitchell, were you placed on probation in regards to case number 22-02861 FY?
Yes.
And as part of your probation, were you required to attend psychiatric counseling?
Yes.
And did you fail to attend outpatient counseling on May 15th, May 30th, and June 2nd of this year?
Yes.
Did you also, were you also required to submit to random drug testing?
Yes.
And did you fail to submit to random drug testing at Cognitive Consultants on May 27th of 2023?
Yes.
Thank you. No further questions, Your Honor.
We're satisfied with the factual basis. I'll accept your plea. Find your plea to be made freely, voluntarily, and intelligently. The recommendation is to continue the probation status, but the defendant needs to get back on track. Did you want to address that?
Yes, Your Honor. We agree with the recommendation. Defendant, Mr. Mitchell reports that he has been in contact with CMH.
Yeah.
And is re-engaging in counseling services and wishes to continue on its probation as it means allowed to him for this to be completely successful.
Okay, so he's been participating in his testing.
I don't recall.
He has had some financial issues, Your Honor. He's working with CMH to get a job to help get him some money to help him out so that he can participate more fully.
Okay, and what about attending outpatient counseling?
You mean the classes?
She needs like psychiatrist.
Oh, yes, I see her tomorrow at 11 o'clock. Name's Natalie Santa.
Going to continue your probation at this time. You need to make sure that you continue your testing and your outpatient services and provide verification of that, so you don't have any further violations, okay, sir?
Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
You don't want your probation status revoked and that you end up in jail, okay?
Okay,
Do you have any questions?
no.
Any additional matters today? You're all set, sir.
Thank you.
Sheila Mitchell's in jail.
He's downstairs.
Oh, he's
Same
downstairs.
with Derek.
Got it. They put Mr. Henderson on pretty early, but he had a pre-trial. You need to speak to Mr. Henderson?
Hello.
Yes, I do briefly, Your Honor.
Okay. Do you have anybody else waiting before you do that?
I'm sorry.
Mr. Riley is downstairs. And let's see, Mr. Wakefield needs to be arraigned.
Mr. Henderson, I would ask for a couple minutes just to.
You gotta go speak to him now, or you need
So
some?
let's wait to hear what he has to say first.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm gonna arraign Mr. Wakefield while you guys do that on TV. You turn the fan off for me, please. On the record of the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Laverne Wakefield, file number 21-02752. Mr. Wakefield, today's the date set for arraignment on a probation violation. I have here a request in summons for probation violation. It alleges that you committed the following technical violations. That you failed to refrain from alcohol and controlled substances and per Coordinate Health Solutions on April 7th, 2023. You tested positive for cocaine with more than 7,500 nanograms per milliliter found in your system. You have THC in the amount of 5,672 nanograms per milliliter detected, and ETG of 1,212 nanogram per milliliter, and an ETS of 429 nanograms per milliliter. So you have the right to have a contested hearing. You have the right to be represented by counsel during that contested hearing. You have the right to have the prosecution and the probation department put forth evidence to support by a preponderance of the evidence the violations that they have alleged. If you're found to be in violation of your bond conditions, your probation conditions, your probation can be revoked. You could be sentenced to a term of jail time. Looks like it says this is about the 10th probation violation. Do you want to request an attorney to represent you?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Do you want to waive your right to have a counsel represent you?
Yes.
Okay. And so how do you want to proceed? You want a hearing on this, or do you want to plead guilty?
I'll plead guilty, Your Honor.
Okay, raise your right hand. You solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give is the truth and the whole truth under penalty of perjury.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. And you understood the rights that I just shared with you about the probation violation, correct?
Yes.
And you wish to waive those rights and proceed with entering a guilty plea to the violation?
Yes.
Anybody threatening you to get you to plead guilty?
No, ma'am.
Any promises being made to you in exchange for a guilty plea?
No, ma'am.
Are you entering a guilty plea because you believe you're guilty?
Yes, indeed.
Okay, as to the violation that you failed to refrain from alcohol and controlled substances, including cocaine, THC, and alcohol, with an ETG and ETS located, how do you plead?
I plead guilty.
Okay, and I placed you on a term of probation before this court.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
With the marijuana, though, I do have my medical card, and that's, I mean,
Okay, we'll get to that.
okay.
I placed you on a term of probation. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And I told you that you were not to use, purchase, or possess drugs or alcohol without a valid prescription, correct?
Correct.
Okay. And on or about April. We have a record of your new card in here, so. On or about April 7th, 2023, had you used a substance containing cocaine?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, you knew it was cocaine at the time?
Yes.
Okay, and you didn't have a valid prescription for it, did you?
No, ma'am.
Okay. And you knew it was in violation of your probation conditions, correct?
Yes.
Okay, and as to the use of alcohol, did you have alcohol during that time as well?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, you knew it was alcohol when you ingested it?
Yes.
Okay. You knew that was a violation of your bond conditions?
Yes, ma'am.
I keep saying bond and it's probation, violation of your probation conditions? Okay. I'll accept your plea. I find your plea be made freely, voluntarily, and intelligently. Your probation officer here states that the positive test was right after you had been reduced to testing 2 times per month, and the PATS was backlogged with test results. Okay, so that's why it's recently being detected. It says you have completed IOP at NYS in mid-April.
I haven't had positive since then either, Your Honor.
Okay, I don't see where you've had any further violations. The violation is an allegation from April. I guess there was a backlog in getting that to the court. Looks like you have since completed IOP at NYS, and the probation department is requesting that you participate in some relapse prevention programming and continue your testing 1 time per week, and that you participate in 25 hours of community service within the next 90 days. I'm gonna adopt that recommendation. I think it's appropriate. We're gonna continue your probation. You're scheduled to end probation, looks like October 12th of 2024.
I've signed up for that relapse prevention plan already for Fed.
Okay, very good. You can get with probation about where you can do the 25 hours of community service.
25 hours, is that?
25 hours, you got 90 days to do it.
All right. That's through any nonprofit organization, correct?
They'll give you a list of approved
All right.
places. If you have something that's not there, you can run it by them, and if they find it fit, then they can work around that.
All right.
You continue your probation and your testing at this time with those conditions. Do you have any questions at this time, sir?
No, I don't.
Okay, you're all set.
All right, thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Oh, all the folks, prosecutor wants to go meet with. There you go, sir. Mr. Coleman.
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you here with Diamondback?
He's sitting here with me, Your Honor. I'll move over so he can appear in the camera.
Sounds good. On the record in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus William Diamondback, file number 23-01571.
Your Honor, Jill Coulter on behalf of the people.
And David Coleman, you're here on behalf of Mr. Diamondback, correct?
That's correct, Your Honor.
Okay, today was the date that was set for a pre-trial. Was there an offer on this one?
This time, Your Honor, there is not an offer on this.
Okay, there's no offer. How do you want to proceed, Mr. Coleman?
Jury trial, Your Honor. Thank you.
Okay, we're gonna set it for a final pre-trial and jury trial.
Final trial, September 18th at 8 a.m.
Final pre-trial will be September 18th at 8 o'clock in the morning in person at the court.
Jury trial, September 25th.
Jury trial, September 25th, 8 o'clock in the morning, also in person at the court.
Very good, Your Honor. Thank you.
No problem. Any additional matters for the record today?
Nothing from the people, Your Honor. Nothing from our side, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank you. You're all set.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Mr. Dillon. Might not be available. Oh, there he goes. I don't hear anything.
I don't know why you guys can't see me. I can see you
I can
guys.
hear you now. Okay, you're here with Dewan Bush.
Mr. Bush is on Zoom.
I have to have Mr. Stevens down here, Swan Bush, former client. of mine.
Okay,
So
We
he
gotta
is
get
in
a-
with Judge Ward and Chambers.
got it. We gotta get a different prosecutor because we have this, Mr. Bush's former attorney as our prosecutor today.
Okay. Do you want me to just wait, Your Honor?
Yes, he's running down to Judge Ward's courtroom to see if we can steal her prosecutor.
Okay, I'll hang tight.
Yes, yeah.
You will have to cover Mr. Yu also.
Okay, sounds good. Mr. Peter, I mean, Miss Peters, do you have an attorney? He
Yes.
does, Mr. Person,
Yes,
Mr. Lees.
yes, I'm
Representing
representing Ms. Peters. I would like to talk with you if I could, John.
Okay, if you want to get on Zoom. And then Mr. Dillon, Mr. Stevens will be down in just a moment.
Okay, that sounds good. Mr. Bush, could you just mute your phone for a minute until the court calls your case?
You can be seated. We need just dates for Mr. Bush.
You want Mr. Dillon on the screen?
He's there.
Oh, there he is, sorry. Just shut up.
Go stand where I need to stand.
No, we can just get the dates. He's gonna be sentenced in Aquilina on another matter.
Correct.
Okay, so we want to reset this after that.
Mr. Dillon and I joined in that request if that's amenable with the court.
When in October is it?
The sentencing in Aquilina is October 18th, which is a Wednesday. We were requesting the next jury trial date. I don't know if 10/23 is the next Monday following that. I just don't know if that's your scheduled jury trial date or you.
I think my next one that I have available probably is in November after that.
October 30th.
October 30th.
That's all right with Mr. Dillon.
Does
It's fine
October
with me.
30th work for your schedule, Mr. Dillon?
Yes, it does. And I anticipate we'll resolve, based on Judge Aquilina's sentence. I think that Mr. Stevens and I will resolve the case before that. So a tentative date would be fine.
Okay, we'll set it for October 30th for now. And hopefully that'll be resolved. Any additional matters today?
Nothing from the people. Thank you.
Nothing from defense.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Who did you meet with just now, Mr. Lee?
What's the name?
Henderson, oh, we put Henderson in the breakout room because he had feedback.
Paula Peters.
Okay, and did you need to meet with Mr. Henderson?
I am need to meet with Mr. Henderson.
Okay, he's in room 2, room 1. On the record, in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Paula Peters, file number 23-01739. Appearance, please.
Let me have people.
Assistant Public Defender John Lee on behalf of Paula Peters.
Today was the date set for, please remove Mr. Bush, please. Pre-trial on dog licensing, vaccination, how are we proceeding?
I'll defer to Mr. Lee at this point because Mr. Cultrider handed this one off to me very briefly.
I did it.
Something to the effect of.
He's got, does she have the license or you need time?
Dismissed, Your Honor. She
Okay.
showed both Mr. Coltrider and myself the license.
The people move to dismiss, correct?
Sure do.
Thank you.
Sounds right, Judge.
All right, you're all set, Ms. Peters.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, and then while you meet with Mr. Henderson, I can,
Well, I was wondering if that was Mr. Cultrider was gonna handle that one.
Okay, on the record in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Reginald Henderson, file number 22-02998.
Thank you, Your Honor. Dale Coltrane on behalf of the people.
And Assistant Public Defender Sarah Donnelly on behalf of the defendant Reginald Henderson, who is appearing separately from Ingham County Jail.
Thank you. This was the date set for pre-trial on an assault and battery. Look like we reset this because the jail didn't bring them over originally. How are we proceeding?
Your Honor, people would convey an offer today of plea to the charge as charged with credit for the time served. I think he has 50 years credit.
That's correct, Mr. Henderson. You want to plead guilty to the charge?
Yes.
Please raise your right hand.
Yes.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give is the truth and the whole truth under the penalty of perjury?
Yes.
Okay, you can put your hand down. And Mr. Henderson, you have the right to proceed to a trial in this matter, and you have the right to a jury trial. You have the right to the presumption of innocence. So you're innocent until proven guilty. Do you understand that?
Yes.
And you have the right to make the prosecutor prove each element of the charge being brought against you before you are deemed guilty. You recognize that?
Yes.
Okay, you're willing to give up those rights so far?
Yes.
Okay. You have the right to see, hear, or question any other witnesses that the prosecution calls against you. You have the right to call your own witnesses or present evidence that you believe further a defense to the charge being brought against you. And you have the right to remain silent at trial and not have silence be used to prove your guilt. You understand that?
Yes.
You want to give up all of those rights?
Yes.
Anybody threatening you or making any promises to you to get you to want to waive your rights?
No.
Are you entering a plea because you believe you're guilty?
Excuse me.
I'm sorry?
Say it again.
Are you entering a plea to the charge because you believe you're guilty?
Yes. I know I acted in the wrong way. I was in the mental state. I know I acted in the wrong way, but it wasn't intentionally. I wasn't taking my medication at the time.
Oh, okay, you wasn't taking your medication at the time?
No. And then I missed court because I was planning kidnap and taking me to Detroit. That's why I missed my court.
Yeah, I saw that note here on May 22nd that you told Magistrate Milmore you were kidnapped to Detroit. Who kidnapped you?
A friend of mine, he took me over there and he left me over there and then dropped me off and I couldn't get back.
Oh, one of your friends kidnapped you.
I didn't know him that well, but I thought he was a friend of mine. And when I got over there, he left me, dissed me. I couldn't get back. I ain't had no way to get back into my court.
Oh, got it. Well, you made it back and you've been able to address court at this time. So you want to plead guilty as to the assault and battery charge. Yes. How are you pleading, sir?
Guilty.
Factual basis.
Thank you, Your Honor. All right, Reginald, on August 23rd of 2022, were you at the location of 3222 South Martin Luther King Boulevard in the city of Lansing, Ingham County, state of Michigan?
Yes.
All right, and is that where the all washed up laundromat is?
Yes.
All right, and while there, did you hug or make physical contact by hugging a girl named McKenna Root Darden?
Yes, I hugged him.
All right, and did you have permission to hug McKenna?
No, when I first saw her, both ran each other at the same time. He said, she know me? I said, you know me? I said, do I know you? And we ran each other and we hugged each other. I didn't do no criminal towards him, no.
But you knew that you were touching McKenna and you did it without permission, correct?
Yes.
And you did it to where she might have found it offensive.
I didn't know she had found it offensive. I didn't know I was gonna get arrested for that. I didn't even know. I made my mom, I don't know how she, told her mom. I didn't know.
Your Honor, I don't think I have any further questions.
I have no questions, Your Honor.
Okay, so the factual basis as we have it is that he grabbed McKenna's wrist. Is that what it was?
He went to, when he approached her, he went to, I think it was, he went to go hug her. It was like, oh, that's the initiation of the contact.
Got it. He did. Mr. Henderson, did you hug her?
I hugged her, but I didn't attack her, nothing like that. I didn't,
Well, we're not asking you that you attacked her. You hugged her. Do you know this young lady?
I've never seen her before. We thought we knew each other. She thought she knew me.
You never seen her before?
I never seen her before.
Okay.
So
We're
both of us
satisfied
thought
with
we
the
knew each
factual
other.
basis.
Okay.
I'm satisfied with the factual basis. I'll accept your plea. Find your plea to be made freely, voluntarily, and intelligently. You have credit for 58 days. Is that accurate? What was his bond? She arraigned him, it looks like, on May 22nd. Was that for a bench warrant?
Yes,
It
there's a failure to
was.
appear.
And it doesn't look like she gave him a bond. And so she remanded him. He'll credit him 58 days. Credit time served. You're all set, sir. Take your medication.
Okay.
And I told him to stay sober.
Yes, yep, and stay sober. That's what your attorney says, okay?
Yeah, I will. I'm going to mental health when I
And don't hug
I
anybody
need
without
that.
their permission.
Excuse me?
Don't hug anybody without their permission either.
You're good to go,
Okay.
Mr. Henderson.
All right,
Should give you time
let them
served.
know. Let them know you're free to go.
Okay, thank you.
Can you
Okay,
let the
thank
deputy
you.
know you're all set?
Okay, thank you. Okay, all right. I'm ready to go home. Yeah, he told me to go home.
You gotta bring up somebody.
Yeah, we got Jalen Mitchell and Derek Riley downstairs.
I think
Mr. Riley,
On the record, in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Derek Lamont Riley, file number 21-00063. Let's see, council appearance.
Assistant Public Defender Sarah Donnelly on behalf of defendant Derek Riley, who is present standing to my right.
Today's the date and time set for hearing on a probation violation. How are we proceeding?
Your Honor, it's my understanding at this time that Mr. Riley does not object to or dispute the allegations.
Is that correct, Mr. Riley?
Yes, ma'am.
Please raise your right hand. You solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give is the truth and the whole truth under penalty of perjury.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, you can put your hand down. Mr. Riley, I have the alleged violation here from a year ago, July 5th, 2022 is when I signed it. It said you failed to report monthly as directed at the probation review dated for June 9th, 2022 and July 14th, 2022. It says that you failed to submit to a substance abuse assessment and pay the fee and provide proof of completion to the court. And then it looks like there was a violation order that amended. It said that you failed to participate in substance abuse assessment, anger management, and provide proof of employment at the Meyer warehouse. So you had the right to have a contested hearing, and you want to waive that hearing today? You want to have a hearing? Okay, so you want to plead guilty to the allegations that I just read?
Okay, yes.
Raise your right hand. You solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give is the truth and the whole truth under penalty of perjury.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. As to the first violation that you failed to report monthly as directed to probation and review your probation orders on July 14th and June 9th, 2022. How do you plead?
Yes.
And as to the violation that you failed to report on the second Thursday of each month to probation, how do you plead?
Guilty, kind of.
Guilty,
I know,
kinda?
because a lot of times I was dealing with Mr. Ledesma, and he was hard to contact, and I couldn't get in touch with him. I couldn't get in touch with him. I couldn't email him. He wasn't answering me back. And then last year, on June the 2nd of last year, my dad passed away, and I was out of town, so I didn't contact him because I was dealing with a lot, like at that time, and I know it wasn't right for me to not report to him. But seeing as how I couldn't get in touch with him, I was already super stressed out about everything that was happening. I expected him to try to contact me or email me or do something, and it didn't happen. So I'm guilty for not doing more. I should have did something. I should have made better decisions as of late. I've been making horrible decisions, and I just didn't do anyway.
And as to the violation that you failed to submit to substance abuse assessment and pay the fee and provide completion of the substance abuse assessment to the court, how do you plead? And then it says that you failed to participate in anger management and provide proof of your employment at Meyer Warehouse.
I sent them the check stuff that I needed. Like I got in trouble. I went to jail. I lost that job. Like every time I keep going to jail, I keep losing my job.
You went to jail when?
This year.
On something else.
I don't know exactly. Yeah, what day it was.
Because when you were here in March 2022, you said that you worked at Meyer Warehouse.
Yeah, and I sent him. If I'm not mistaken, I sent him the check stuff that I needed. Like I only worked like so many days a week at that time.
Okay.
I mean, I was kind of training still, so I was not getting a lot of hours. I was sending them the paperwork that I had anyways. So
Okay.
I don't know.
What about anger management?
I didn't have the money. It costs money. Like I asked him which ones, and the ones he was offering me, I had two choices, and both of them cost a couple $100 at least. The first one started at like $2 something. I done had to win.
Listen, crime is expensive.
It's not.
It ain't cheap.
I know, I'm not trying to be, I'm not a criminal. I do
Did you
make
plead
that.
guilty to a crime?
I did.
He was found guilty, Your Honor.
He was found guilty of a crime?
I'm not trying to say that I'm not
Oh, I
wrong.
think do we have trial on this?
Yeah, I'm not saying that I'm not wrong, but I made some bad decisions, and I apologize to the court for the inconvenience.
This was a jury trial, is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Slowly coming back to me. Is this the one where you had to live with him?
Yes.
Sounds like it was a series of misfortunate events. I remember that.
It's terrible.
I remember that.
And I'm like, I understand, like, I get it. And that's why I said I've made some bad decisions.
Yeah.
As of late, the last past times, I've made some bad decisions that I'm not gonna repeat them. I don't got a reason to. I got more of a reason to make more informed decisions, better ones. I have a family out there and I haven't seen them. I just need to get behind you. So whatever I can do to rectify the situation with you.
Well, it looks like you've been in jail since the July 6th, is that correct?
Before.
Yeah, you got arrested.
Yeah, I'll accept your plea to the violations. I find your plea you made freely, voluntarily, and intelligently. Credit your time served and discharge you from probation. I don't see anything about any fines and costs on here. If there were fines and costs, they'll be referred to collections, okay? Because I don't see anything about it here.
The amount that you owe on the file is going to be referred to collection.
I didn't own any amount.
Okay.
I paid it, yeah.
Oh, yeah, you did.
Okay, sounds good. So then you're all set.
Yeah, and I'll kind of point on.
I mean, I hope I see you outside.
Why?
I don't be in front.
Why you
of
want to see me outside?
I'm just
No,
saying,
it's
I hope I see you outside.
Next time.
In a positive light. I get that. I hope you do too. I hope you do well. And I think you're gonna make better decisions.
Yeah, God bless you, Miss Simmons.
Thank you. Have a good one.
Come on, man, we gonna take a walk.
Gotta be careful what you say around here. Help us, Lord. Ooh, let's get hotter in here. This is Mr. Mitchell.
Jalen Mitchell, yes, Your Honor.
Sir Mitchell, why is your file so thick? Not a good sign. Does he have more than one file? Okay.
Your Honor, yes, he does have a filing circuit. He's on probation in
okay.
circuit court, and he has another file in circuit court.
The record in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Jalen Mitchell, file number 19-02770. Appearance, please.
Assistant Public Defender Sarah Donnelly on behalf of defendant Jalen Mitchell, who is standing to my right.
Okay. This is another one, I think, was it a jury trial, correct?
I believe, yes, with Mr.
Indeed. Okay, today was the date and time set for a hearing on a probation violation. What is this one? What's that one? Mitchell Abu. Is he represented by Mr. Abu? Same one. I don't see the violation. Okay, this might be it. This is not a violation from February, is it?
I do have, yeah, 2 violations, both from February 3rd and February 14th. I believe.
So many drink warrants in here, I gotta keep going backwards. That's like, wow, so good. Let's see. Only one I see here, it doesn't appear to have been addressed. I have a probation violation. Summons, it says that the defendant allegedly commit the following technical probation violations that he Forever Health on February 4th, 2023, tested positive for THC, alcohol, and cocaine. 5,715.16 nanograms per milliliter ETS, 1,978.6 nanograms per milliliter ETS, and then 686 nanogram per milliliter carboxy THC and cocaine. And then it has a positive for cannabinoid in the amount of 95.1 nanogram per milliliter, cocaine 1,572 nanogram per milliliter, and then 10,000 nanogram per milliliter of benzoyl. That one. Is that the one we're talking about?
Yes, well, yes, that was the one from February 14th, and there were, I believe,
Oh, let's see, there might be another one here.
yeah, it added to February 3rd.
February 3rd, okay, failed to enroll and submit to random testing at EverHealth, failed to enroll in complete anger management at Cognitive Consultants, failed to provide proof of completion of victim impact panel, failed to report to probation officer monthly, failed to report for the month of December 2022 and January 2023. And so he was arraigned on all of those. He pled not guilty. He wants a hearing today.
It's my understanding he doesn't want to dispute those allegations, Your Honor.
That's the truth. You want to plead guilty?
Yes, Judge.
Raise your right hand. You solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give is the truth and the whole truth under penalty of perjury.
Yes, Your Honor.
You can put your hand down. Okay, and you understand that you have the right to have a contested hearing.
Yes, Your Honor.
You understand that you have the right to have the probation and the prosecution put forth evidence to establish the violations that are alleged against you.
Yes, Your Honor.
You want to waive that right to have the hearing?
Yes.
Anybody threatening you?
No.
Any promises being made to you if you waive your right and plead guilty?
No, Judge.
Okay. You understand that you could be facing a term of jail time if you're found guilty of these violations?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. As to the violations that you failed to enroll and submit to random testing at EverHealth, you failed to enroll and complete anger management at Cognitive Consultants, that you failed to provide proof of completion of victim impact panel, and that you failed to report to probation officer monthly, not reporting in December 2022 and January 2023. You're pleading guilty to all of those?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And then as to the violations that you tested positive at EverHealth on February 4th, 2023 for THC, alcohol, and cocaine, and benzos, as Ms. Donnelly refers to them.
No, benzogluconine is the metabolite for cocaine.
Okay, sounds good. How do you plead? Okay, factual basis.
Thank you, Your Honor. So Mr. Mitchell, do you remember when you were put on probation?
Yes.
All right, and when you were put on probation, do you remember that you were told that you were gonna have to report monthly?
Yes.
All right, so did you fail to report your probation in December of 2022 and January of 2023? All right, and did you, were you told that you needed to enroll in random testing at AverHealth? Did you fail to do that until February 4th? All right, and so you were directed to test on February 4th by your probation officer, correct?
Yes.
All right, and did your probation officer ask you if you're gonna test positive for anything?
Yes.
And did you tell him that you were gonna test positive for THC, alcohol, and cocaine?
I did.
All right. Did you, so on or about December 4th, you agree that you were using marijuana, alcohol, and cocaine?
Yes.
And you knew that all of those substances were those substances when you took them?
Yes.
You weren't taking them by accident or anything? Okay. And then you failed, you were supposed to complete a victim impact panel requirement, right?
Yes.
And did you provide proof of that victim impact panel to probation?
No, I don't remember.
Okay, did you do the victim impact panel? Your Honor, no further questions.
Satisfied with the factual basis, I'll accept your plea. And your plea to be made freely, voluntarily, and intelligently. The recommendation from probation is that we should terminate the probation status, and it's highly suggested that jail time be imposed, since the defendant's overall attitude was poor, his acceptance of responsibility was poor, his overall progress was poor, and that he hasn't made zero progress since his last probation violation, that he has made no attempts to keep in contact with his probation officer, did not report for the month of April or May, and he shows little regard, takes no responsibility for his probation. You can make allocution.
Your Honor, I will obviously let Mr. Mitchell speak on his behalf, but just for the court to consider, Mr. Mitchell is on probation in felony court. He has Judge Dragonchuk. He had a probation violation arraignment last Wednesday in which she gave him time served and continued him on probation. She has also ordered a GPS tether on him. He also was arraigned on a failure to appear for a case in circuit court. So he has right now a $50,000 cash surety bond holding him in jail. I don't exactly agree with the additional comments. I think that there's a lot of factors that go into why people can and can't comply with probation. I don't think that it really comes down to the personal motivations of the people, and I hate that that we make these value judgments about people when in simple terms, when they have lives and pasts and histories and hopes and dreams, and these probation officers can only know so much. So I don't really think that Mr. Mitchell is wholly unmotivated to stay on the straight and narrow and find a stable environment and situation for himself. I believe that he wants all these things for himself just as much as probation did want for him. It's just that the things happen and he can't, or well, actually, I'll let him explain what he wants for what he wants. But Your Honor, we would ask that he be either continued on probation, given another chance, or close out the file. I know that he has, I don't know how much time he has served. He's done 16 days on this. He had a previous violation. So I don't know off the top of my head how much it was, but just close out the file and have him, continue with the probation in front of Dragonchuk. Thank you.
Upon me getting out the last time, my auntie had just passed, so I wanted to be there for her funeral. And then I just found out my girlfriend's leukemia and stuff was back, so I had to be there. I wanted to be there for her treatments and her classes and stuff like that. And there was just a lot of stuff going on at one time, and then the other probation trying to do the classes for that, and then this other case, it's just a lot on me at one time. And I know what I was doing was wrong, but it's like at the time, I thought it was the right thing to do,
Is that what was the right thing to do?
to be there for my family and.
You're not here because you was here for your family. You're here because you used cocaine, and you're here because you used THC when you weren't supposed to, and you're here because you didn't follow the orders of the court.
I understand, Judge.
So you're not here because you were there for your family.
You know what I'm saying? There was a lot on me at one time.
There's a lot on all of us. There's a lot on Miss Donnelly. She's standing right next to you here today supporting you. What if she didn't come up today to defend you? Because there's a lot on her. She's got stuff to do. You think we don't have a lot on us? We have a ton of things on us, but we show up every day because we have to. And you have things that you have to show up for yourself. You can't possibly show up and be a good support system for someone else if you're not here for yourself. Where did they get you by trying to be there for her if you're sitting in jail because you violated court orders? It doesn't actually does the contrary of what you're seeking. If you want to be there to be a good support for your girlfriend and for your family, then you need to be an upstanding citizen in the community. You need to follow court orders. You need to do what you're supposed to do out there, make good decisions so you don't end up back in court. You shouldn't keep having things pending, or you shouldn't have probation in 2 different courts right now. That shouldn't even be a thing. Because you can make better decisions. Because you knew how to make a decision to go be there for your family. Be there for yourself. What's your plan? What's your plan with your life? Did you have a job?
I did. I was working with my cousins, and one of them doing landscaping, the other one was doing cleaning out cars and detailing. But I was trying to get my LLCs and start my own business.
So you want to run a business? You want to be an entrepreneur? You know, one of the first things you're gonna need to do if you want to be an entrepreneur. You don't have to go to school to be an entrepreneur. There's plenty of successful entrepreneurs that didn't go to school. You gotta be responsible though. You understand that? You have 3 children. You think you can serve their needs if you're in here? Well, you gotta make better decisions for yourself. How long is he on probation before Judge Aquilina?
18 months? Yes.
There's really no point in you being on probation in both places. This probation was scheduled to end in May anyways. We just couldn't address it because you never came to court. Couldn't address the violations. You'll be discharged unsuccessfully from here. And we'll credit you time, sir. Hopefully, after you complete your rehabilitation over in the 30th Circuit, you would have learned the lessons you need so that you won't even have to worry about coming to court for these kinds of things anymore. All right, good luck to you. We finish everybody, or do you have someone else? I think we're done.
We're done.
Okay, sounds good.
Take it on my car.